Welcome to Calcutta Races Monsoon Meeting 9-day, Wednesday, 28th August 2019 race preview. We move on to the first race, which is the Armed Forces Handicap for horses in Class 5. To be run over a distance of 2,000 meters, we're looking at number 1, Le Corbusier. Last outing being in race number 14 this season of 1,100 meters, where Le Corbusier travelled quite wide, travelling fourth till it turned for home and then gradually faded back and finished on 7th out of 7 runners, and the winner was Asmita. Number 2 will be Cool Conqueror. Cool Conqueror's had 4 starts this monsoon meeting, finished off board in all its 4 starts. Last start was over 1,800 meters in race number 46, where Cool Conqueror travelled 4th till it turned for home and then dropped back 2 places and finished on 6th out of 7 runners. The winner was Fire Opal. Number 3 will be Porus. Porus has just had 1 start this monsoon meeting in race number 19 over 1,200 meters, where Porus travelled 8th till it turned for home and then gradually gained 1 place and finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Aftershock. Number 4 will be Ajita. Ajita's had 3 starts this monsoon meeting, last outing being in race number 42 over 1,400 meters, where Ajita finished on 6th. Also in the same race, we had number 5, Alien, who finished right at the back end to finish on 9th, and number 7, Constance, who finished on 4th, and the winner of that race was Beat the Bank, who went on to win that race by about nose. Number 6 will be Phoenicia. Phoenicia's had 3 starts this monsoon meeting, off the board in all the 3 starts. Last outing being in race number 47 over 1,200 meters, where Phoenicia finished on 7th out of 11 runners, and the winner of that race was The Last Judgment, who went on to win that race by 5 lengths. Number 8 will be Beatrix. Beatrix has had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, finished 4th in both its outings. Last outing in race number 7 over 1,200 meters, where Beatrix travelled 5th till it turned firm and then gradually gained 1 place and finished a faraway 4th, and the winner of that race was Marigold. We move on to the second race, which is the ex-serviceman's plate, to be run over a distance of a mile. For horses 3 years old only, rated 21 to 46. We're looking at number 1, Roxa. Roxa's last outing was in the winter over 1,400 meters in race number 200, where Roxa travelled 4th till it turned firm and then gradually gained few places right in the centre of the track and went on to win that race by a length by beating Manzoni. Number 2 will be Botswana Star. Lord Admiral out of Kalin Rinka as Botswana Star. Last outing being in race number 29 this monsoon meeting over 1,200 meters, where Botswana Star, after much efforts, finished on 6th. And also in the same race, we had number 6, Tia Queen, stablemate, who finished on 3rd. And the winner of that race was Valeria. Number 3, we're looking at Aveberry. Aveberry's just had 1 start this season in race number 22 over 1,400 meters, now travelling over a mile. Aveberry's last start was when it turned for home. It was travelling 2nd and then gradually faded back and finished on 4th was Aveberry. And the winner of that race was Adira, who went on to win that race by 3 1/4 lengths. Also in the same race, we have number 7, Elusive Wave, who finished on 5th. Number 4, we're looking at Avellino. Top class out of Riverdown Empress is Avellino. 2 starts this monsoon meeting, finished off the board in both its outings. Last outing over 7 furlongs, that's 1,400 meters, where Avellino finished on 6th in race number 43, and the winner of that race was Louboutin. Number 5, we're looking at Inca. Inca's had 2 starts this monsoon meeting. A support out of Systematic is Inca. Last outing being over 1800 meters, where Inca travelled 6th till it turned for home and then gradually gained a couple of places and finished on 4th. And the winner of that race was Fire Opal. Got 200 less to travel. This time out is Inca. We move on to the third race, which is the Helping Hand Handicap, to be done over a distance of 1200 meters. You're looking at number 1, Mahasuvi, Western Aristocrat out of Bluegrass Fenham. Just had 1 start this monsoon meeting in race number 23 over 1200 meters, where Mahasuvi travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then finished on 7th eventually. And the winner of that race was Midnight Star. Number 2 will be Adirit. Adirit's had last outing over a mile in race number 133 in the winter season, where Adirit finished on 5th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Jayavant, stablemate. Number 3 will be Supernormal. Supernormal's just had 1 start this monsoon meeting in race number 30 over 1200 meters, where Supernormal finished right at the back end to finish on 10th. And also in the same race, we had number 11, that is Mrs. Willy Nilly, who finished on a close 4th. And the winner of that race was Diamond Harbour. Number 4, we are looking at Nembe Greek. Nembe Greek's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 41 over 1200 meters, where Nembe Greek towards the rail side finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Dancing Prince. This time out, there's a change of ownership with Nembe Greek. Number 5, we're looking at Respect. Respect's last outing was in the winter season in race number 208 over 1400 meters, where Respect finished on 7th after much efforts, and the winner was Sheer Foes. Number 6 will be Shimmering Star. Strong suit out of Shining Glory is Shimmering Star. Just 1 outing this monsoon meeting in race number 15 over 1100 meters, and quite a cracker of a start that was for Shimmering Star. Went on to win that race by 2 3/4 lengths by beating Marigold in a start to finish essay. Can repeat again is Shimmering Star. Number 7 will be Artificial. Artificial's last outing was quite an eye-catcher in race number 40 over 1100 meters, where Artificial came up with a very late run, travelling very wide of the track in the final stages, and finished 2 3/4 lengths behind the winner. That was Dilmange Mo. Number 8, we're looking at Monte Cassino. Monte Cassino's had 2 starts this monsoon meeting. Last start being in race number 8 over 1200 meters, where Monte Cassino, after much efforts, finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Millennium Glory, who got that one by a short head. Number 9 will be Stelvio Pass. Stelvio Pass's last outing was in race number 36, this monsoon meeting over 1400 meters, where Stelvio Pass travelled 2nd till it turned for home and then gradually faded back and dropped back 2 places to finish on 4th. And the winner of that race was Izzy. Got 200 meters less to travel this time out to Stelvio Pass. Number 10 is Davina Donatella. Davina Donatella has just had 1 outing that was in the winter in race number 200 over 1400 meters, where Davina Donatella finished on 7th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Roxor. Number 12 will be Midnight Magic. Midnight Magic's last outing was in the winter season in race number 204 over 1100 meters, where Midnight Magic travelled very wide in the final stages and came up with a late dash to finish on a 4th, and the winner of that race was Lugano. We move on to the 4th race, which is the Defence Forces Cup, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We're looking at number 1, Arakawa. Rebuttal of Lambensi. Just had 2 starts this monsoon meeting. Finished 3rd in its first start, and in its second start in race number 12 over 1400 meters, finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Airlift. Number 2 will be Vice Admiral, Lord Admiral out of Go Out Backwards. Just one start this monsoon meeting in race number 23 over 1200 meters, where Vice Admiral finished on 9th at the back end after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Midnight Star, who came up with a late dash and went on to win that race by a length and a 3/4. Number 3 will be Airlift. Airlift's had 2 starts this monsoon meeting. Won its first start over 1400 meters, and in its next start over a mile, finished on 6th after much efforts. In race number 26 was not impressive at all that day, and the winner of that race was Sniper. Number 4, we're looking at Fantasia. Fantasia's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 31 over 1400 meters, where Fantasia travelled 6th till it turned for home and then gradually gained a few places towards the inside and finished on 3rd was Fantasia. Also in the same race, we had number 5, Kantai, who was the eventual winner, came up with a very strong run and went on to win that by a length and 3/4 by beating Jayavant. Also in the same race, we had number 6, that is Jayavant, who finished on 2nd. Number 7 will be Big Star. Big Star's last outing was in the winter season in race number 148 over 1200 meters, where Big Star finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Enchanted. Number 9, we're looking at Tough Enough. Tough Enough's last outing was in race number 16. That's the only start it's had this season over 1100 meters, where Tough Enough started off right at the back end and remained in that spot and finished right at the back end to finish on 11th out of 11 runners, and the winner of that race was Malana. Number 10 will be Dungle. Dungle's last start was this monsoon meeting in race number 49 over 1200 meters, where Dungle travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then gradually faded back and finished on 9th very quickly. Towards the rail side was Dungle, and the winner of that race was Aquitania. We move on to the 5th race, which is the Unknown Warrior Cup, to be run over a distance of 1800 meters. We're looking at number 1, Barbaresco, Excellent Art at a mooring. Just had one start this monsoon meeting in race number 38 over 1400 meters, where Barbaresco had a tardy start and then dropped back and came up with a very late dash. Was Barbaresco to finish on 6th, and the winner of that race was Eastern Star. Number 2 will be Midnight Phantom. Midnight Phantom's just had one start this monsoon meeting in race number 32 over 1400 meters, where Midnight Phantom travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then dropped back one place to finish on 4th eventually, and the winner of that race was Malana. Number 3 will be Rule Down Under. Rule Down Under's last outing was in race number 45 over a mile, where Rule Down Under travelled 8th till it turned for home and then gradually gained a few places to finish on 4th. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Cold Frontier, who travelled 4th till it turned for home and then gradually gained one place to finish 3rd eventually. And also in the same race, we had number 5, Gold Bond, who was travelling 2nd all the way, but just faded away to finish on 5th eventually in that race. And the winner of that race was Arjuna. They all got 200 meters more to travel this time out. Number 6 will be Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson just had one start this season in race number 18 over 1200 meters, and Smith & Wesson was right at the back end and finished on 9th was Smith & Wesson, and the winner of that race was Perpetual Winning. We move on to the 6th race, which is the Malpensa Cup, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. There's 4 horses in Class 1. Number 1, we're looking at Exodus. Just had one start this monsoon meeting in race number 11 over 1100 meters. There was practically no show there by Exodus, who finished on 8th out of 8 runners, and the winner of that race was Amorous White. Number 2 will be Multi Glory. Multi Glories had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, last one being over our 7 furlong, that's 1400 meters, in race number 38, where Multi Glory finished right at the back end to finish on 10th. Also in the same race, we had number 3 Hartnell, who got a decent lung opener to finish on 5th, and also in the same race, we had number 4 One Man Army, who finished right at the back end to finish on 11th, and number 9, that is Pothas, who finished on 8th, but the eventual winner was Eastern Star, won that impressively by 3 1/4 lengths. Number 5, we're looking at Capricious. Capricious has had one outing this monsoon meeting in race number 24 over 1400 meters, where Capricious started off right at the back end and remained in that spot and finished 9th out of 9 runners, and the winner of that race was Multitude. Number 6 will be Lord of the Sea. Lord of the Sea has just had one outing that was in the winter season in race number 188 over a mile, and Lord of the Sea finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Cadman. Mind you, Lord of the Sea was leading all the way, but eventually in the final stages finished on 5th. Running after a long layoff here is Lord of the Sea. Number 7 will be Malana. Malana is having a real crack of a season, has had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, first one being over 1100 meters and the next one over 7 furlongs, and Malana surprised everybody by going out to win both its outings, and the last outing winning it more impressively than the first by 4 1/4 lengths by beating Shavesh in race number 32. Number 8 will be Kramer. Kramer's had 3 outings, won its first outing this monsoon meeting in race number 4, then finished on 2nd, and last one being not impressive in race number 37 over 1100 meters, where Kramer finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Arashi. Number 10 will be Admiral Hatsu, Admiral of the Fleet out of Hatsuana. Just had 3 outings, the last one being quite impressive in race number 45 over 1600 meters this monsoon meeting, where Admiral Hatsu came up with a very late run, challenged the leader, fell short by a length and a quarter to Arjuna, and Admiral Hatsu settled for 2nd spot. We move on to the 7th and last race, which is the Amar Jawan Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We're looking at number 1, Othello. Othello's just had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, last outing being quite impressive in race number 20 of 1100 meters, where Othello travelled 6th till it turned for home and then gradually gained a few places, travelled very wide of the track in the final stages, but managed to finish on 3rd was Othello. Also in the same race we had number 8 Bambini Festa, who finished on 9th, but the winner of that race was Mr. Fogs. Number 2 will be Stormfront. Stormfront's last outing was in race number 27 over 1600 meters, where Stormfront, after much efforts, finished on 4th on the outside, and the winner of that race was Murakami. Number 3 will be Shivalik Sight. Samit GB out of CSAM is Shivalik Sight. Just had 1 start this monsoon meeting in race number 43, decent lung opener over 1400 meters, where Shivalik Sight travelled 2nd till it turned for home and then gradually dropped back 2 places and finished on 4th, and the winner of that race was Louboutin. Number 4 will be Aggression. Surf Ride out of Amarisk just had 1 start this monsoon meeting in race number 21 over 1400 meters, where Aggression travelled 3rd till it turned firm and then gradually took over the running, and in the final stages of the race, and then just fell short, was overtaken on the outside by X-Light, and Aggression finished on 2nd by a long neck, and that's the one you need to watch out for today. Number 5 will be Demonstrate. Demonstrate's had 2 outings this monsoon meeting, last one being in race number 36 over 1400 meters, where Demonstrate finished on 5th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Izzy, who came up with a very strong run on the outside and went on to win it by 3 1/2 lengths. Also in the same race we had number 6 Lakshay, who finished on 6th. Number 7 will be X-Light. X-Light's had 3 starts this monsoon meeting, won its second last start in race number 21 over 1400 meters, and then after that in race number 42 over the same distance finished on 5th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Beat the Bank. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, and hope to see you at the races as always.